Hi, flamingos. How are you? I hope you guys all had a great weekend with your family and maybe played outside in your backyard and maybe rode your bike. It was nice and sunny for a lot of the weekend, so that was really nice, wasn't it? It's a rainy day today, but that's okay. We can work on our invention blueprints. So, in the flamingo bin in front of our school, Lupine Lane, are your blueprint books. Mr. Carl and I put these together. The front page is what we're going to work on first. It has a template, and we're going to fill this in through YouTube videos that I'm going to make for you. We're going to fill each block in, and I'm going to give you instructions for each of these blocks. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there's 6, and then there's a great big square in the middle. So we're going to start up here. And we're going to go down, down, down. These blocks are all going to have writing in them, and this box is going to have a rendering, which is a drawing, a very careful drawing of what your invention is going to look like. So, by tomorrow, I want you guys to decide which invention brainstorming idea you're going to choose to create. And so you've come up with at least 4 brainstorming ideas. So you're going to choose one idea. And I'm going to put something on our classroom so everybody can fill in their idea that they've chosen. But for now, we're going to work on filling this top box in. And so this video is going to be geared towards filling in this top box. And we're going to write inventor, and then we're going to write your first name and your last name. So before we do that, we've learned all about inventors in history, right? We've learned about Leonardo da Vinci and Benjamin Franklin and Thomas Edison and Albert Einstein, right? So now let's read this book called The Most Magnificent Thing about this little gal who's just like you, and she comes up with all kinds of really cool ideas for an invention. So she is an inventor. And you guys can see, this is like in the books that we read last week. Inside of the front covers, there were blueprints, and she has blueprints here. It looks like she lives in a city, maybe in New York or maybe San Francisco. So blueprints, remember, blueprints are plans, and so that's what we're going to make. We're going to make a set of blueprints or plans for your invention. And it's kind of like a cookbook. So if you went and made an apple pie and you opened up a cookbook and read the recipe to make your apple pie, blueprints are like the cookbook for your invention. We're going to make directions, and we're going to put all of our plans inside of our blueprints here. So for now, let's read about an inventor, this little gal here who's just like you, an inventor. And it's called The Most Magnificent Thing. This is a regular girl and her best friend in the whole wide world. They do all kinds of things together. They race and they eat and they explore and they relax. She makes things and he unmakes things. One day, the girl has a wonderful idea. She's going to make the most magnificent thing. She knows just how it will look. She knows just how it will work. There she is, making blueprints or plans for her magnificent invention. All she has to do is make it, and she makes things all the time. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. First, she hires an assistant. Next, they gather their supplies and they set up somewhere out of the way and they get to work. The girl tinkers and she hammers and she measures while her assistant pounces and growls and chews. When she is finished, she steps back to admire her work, and she walks around one side and her assistant examines the other side. It doesn't look right. Her assistant picks it up and gives it a shake. It doesn't feel right either. They're shocked to discover that the thing isn't magnificent or good. It isn't even really sort of kind of okay. No, it's all wrong. The girl tosses it aside and she gives it another go. She's persevering. She's trying and trying and trying again. Remember, we use that word, persevere. She smooths and she wrenches and she fiddles, and her assistant circles and tugs and wags. When she is finished, she stands up and she takes a long look at it, and her assistant gives it a nudge with his paw. The thing is still wrong, and she decides to try it again. The girl saws and glues and adjusts. She stands and examines and stares. She twists and she tweaks and she fastens. She fixes and straightens and studies. She tries all different ways to make it better. She makes it a square. She makes it round. She gives it legs. She adds antennas. She makes it fuzzy. She makes it long and short and rough and smooth and big and small. And one even smells of stinky cheese. Ugh. But none of them are magnificent. Magnificent. None. Her hard work attracts a few admirers, but they just don't understand. They can't see the magnificent thing that she has in her mind. She gets mad. Ooh, that's her amygdala. She's getting mad. Her amygdala's saying, "Urgh." The angrier she gets, the faster she works. She smashes pieces into shapes and she jams parts together. She pummels the little bits in, and her hands feel too big to work, and her brain is too full of not all the right things. If only the thing would just work. She's frustrated. Her amygdala is sending signals that she's frustrated, huh? Crunch! Ow! The pain starts in her finger, and it rushes up to her brain, and she explodes. It's not her finest moment. Not at all. No. I'm no good at this. I quit. Uh-oh. No. Her assistant suggests a walk. Come on, let's go. Let's go. It's not much help at first. But before long, she starts to feel differently. Bit by bit, the mad gets pushed out of her head. Oh, look, she's starting to smile and feel happy. And they stroll along, and she comes across the first wrong thing she made. The bad feelings are about to start all over again, and then she notices something surprising. There are some parts of the wrong things that are really quite right. Yeah. The bolts on one, the shape of another, the wheel to seat ratio of the next. There are all sorts of parts that she likes. By the time she reaches the end of the trail, she finally knows how to make the thing magnificent. She gets to work. She works carefully and slowly, tinkering and hammering and twisting, fiddling and gluing, painting. Her assistant makes sure there are no distractions. Well, this is the perfect thing to ward off bears. This will stop that leak. This one is all wet. Uh-oh, he spilled his juice on an invention. The afternoon fades into evening, and finally she finishes. She alerts her assistant. Hey, come on, I'm all done. The pair take a good long look. It leans a little to the left, and it's a bit heavier than expected. The color could use a bit of work too, but it is just what she imagined. Right side of her brain, right? She imagined. They climbed aboard and they took off for a spin. And you know, they were not disappointed. It really is the most magnificent thing. You guys are all going to say that about your invention. And so let's fill in this very top box here. We're going to do that by writing inventor and then your first and your last name. So I'm going to show you on this sheet here because I can write bigger up here, okay? So, inventor, we're going to sound it out. I makes the sound I. So, I. N. V. E. N. T, O, R. Okay, and then let's put these two dots here. That's a colon. That tells us I'm going to say something else here. Okay, and I'm going to write my first and last name. Now for you, I want you to write Inventor right here, and then your first and last name. So I'm going to write L-A-U-R-E-N, and then B-O-Y-L-E. And I want you to do that in this top box on the corner there. So it says Inventor, Lauren Boyle. And yours is going to say Inventor, Adele Gregg. Inventor, Owen Underwood. Inventor, Callie Kildee. All of you are going to write your first and last name right after Inventor in that first box because you are the inventor here, okay? All right, guys. Up next, we're going to talk about designers and architects. See you soon.